I know it's rainy, it's a bit cold, but I think we also do have a fine morning. First and foremost, I take this opportunity to appreciate each and every one of you for joining us this morning, especially our friends, investors from Nextgen and the ecosystem around here in Athi River, to welcome the latest entrant into this space, Nextgen. Welcome. Your investment is significant and takes Kenya a step closer to the EPZ program of expanded growth and expanded exports. Let me say that within a very short time, Nextgen has invested $2 million in this facility, the Nextgen Packaging EPZ 19th operation globally, and signals the catalytic role of the EPZ program in driving Kenya's emergence as an attractive investment destination. It is noteworthy that the textile and apparel sector, Nextgen Packaging EPZ's chosen area of investment, is now the dominant component of our EPZs, which presently hosts 39 apparel companies with a total capital investment of 25 billion Kenya shillings. Further, in the ranks of Kenyan exporters of various finished products to the United States, textile and apparel sector companies in our EPZs make up 29 out of 51 companies, employing nearly 60,000 people. Not only has Nextgen Packaging EPZ entered a market with demonstrable present and potential returns, it has done so by taking advantage of the highly impressive, investor-friendly package of fiscal, infrastructural, and regulatory incentives to enter a highly promising economic sector. It is important to note that Kenya is a highly dynamic economy characterized by strong, diversified, and well-developed institutions in both public and private sector. It is also a global and Pan-African hub for banking, insurance, and services sectors, as well as a rising fintech and digital technology innovation hub. Owing to our advantageous geographical situation and extensive infrastructure, we are the gateway into the Eastern and Central Africa region, as well as the continent, making Nairobi the ideal headquarters of many dominant global public and private sector organizations intending to establish a broader continental footprint and presence. Our youthful population is well educated, tech-savvy, and highly skilled, and our people are renowned for their motivation, drive, innovation, and entrepreneurship. You will find, my brother, Nextgen CEO, that the young people that I saw in your workshop and in your enterprise are a cut above many. They are trained appropriately. Whatever skill that you will want, you will not need to import any skill. We have all the skills available here. We spend $5 billion every year in our education sector to train from primary school to secondary school to our TVETs to our universities, and we are very proud of our human capital, and we want you to sample the best. Not just for your company in Kenya, but maybe for your companies elsewhere. Kenya's infrastructure is fairly well developed with a seamless network at the port and harbor, air, road, and rail transport system covering the entire country. Our information and communication technology infrastructure is also highly developed and complemented by high mobile penetration and internet broadband connectivity. In fact, I did say in a meeting we were in yesterday that we are extending broadband connectivity to 100,000 institutions across Kenya. That will enhance connectivity. It will bring more people into the ecosystem, enhance commerce, and expand opportunities for Kenyans, both locally and globally. Our country is also endowed with an abundant renewable energy potential, which makes 93% of our national grid green, with geothermal power constituting the greater portion of it. This morning, I just approved the final purchase of 5,000 acres of land in our Naivasha industrial zone that will provide another opportunity, apart from what the chair said here, in Sagana, in Murang'a, in Nakuru, in Eldoret, and in Busia. We now have an additional 5,000 acres in Naivasha, again, to present opportunity to investors, to industrialists, to entrepreneurs, not only to benefit from our green energy potential, but also all the other incentives, including a connected rail system to Naivasha. We are proud of our democratic credentials as a country as well. The rule of law and with a judicial system that possesses both decisional authority, independence, and efficacy. And our institutions safeguard and promote free enterprise and market efficiency. Our regulatory system, therefore, is defined by an institutional and policy framework underpinned by governance excellence. And we continue to refine our systems to make sure that they are fit for purpose and they encourage investors to invest in our country. Under the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, the government is taking deliberate measures to accelerate productivity, reduce poverty, increase wealth, and enhance the overall welfare of all Kenyans by directing investment to key value chains under our 5 strategic pillars in order to catalyze inclusive radical growth. Both agriculture and manufacturing are fundamental to our bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and the textile and apparel sector, which consumes cotton, is an integral part of it. To announce 2 things in this very important occasion. Number one, I know many apparel manufacturers in our ecosystem around EPZ have told us that they would value if they could get additional supply of local fabric in their EPZ manufacturing capabilities. Let me announce to you that in 2023, we had 8,000 acres under cotton production. We increased that last year to 44,000 acres. This year, we are taking it to 103, 104,000 acres, maybe 120 if we get the next supply of our cotton seed. And next year, we intend to have relation to our vision for radical transformation. As already stated, 29 apparel companies operating in our EPZ are exporting to the US and employ nearly 60,000 people. They have enabled Kenya export over $7 billion worth of garments to the US duty-free, of which $545 million was exported in 2022. Consequently, Kenya is now the biggest garment exporter to the US in Africa. And our Africa Growth and Opportunities Act apparel strategy has stimulated a 12-fold increase in value of our exports in the last 2 decades. This is not the entire story. Our EPZ ecosystem has expanded to 101 gazetted zones in 22 counties, which accounts for Kenya shillings 149 billion in cumulative investment and directly employs over 75,000 people from Mombasa all the way to Malaba. Of this, the textile and apparel sector constitutes over 100 companies which employ over 6,000 people directly and between 150,000 and 200,000 people indirectly. Under BETA and AGOA, we can look ahead with confidence and expect rapid growth in our apparel industry. I am delighted to announce that the United States, through USAID, is partnering with Kenya to create jobs, increase trade, and strengthen our entire textile and apparel sector, and we are truly grateful to USAID. With additional support from Prosper Africa, and I'm very delighted that the team leader of Prosper Africa is in our midst, USAID has therefore invested another $11 million in grants in the following areas. First, the investment is aimed at expanding the promising Kenyan fashion brands like Vivo, and I saw them here, Equator and Ubuntu. Secondly, the investment is extended to grow Kenya's apparel manufacturing base in conjunction with companies like Hela, Mars, Best, Atraco, Royal, Simba, UAL, and Mega. And all of them, I saw them exhibiting here. Finally, the investment is aimed at bringing a new vertical capability to Kenya's textile and apparel subsector with the entry of companies like Koniho and Nextgen into the manufacturing of elastics and labeling. As was said earlier, it will make our turnaround in production much more efficient, faster, and cost-effective. These companies have committed to match this investment with their own investments, amounting to 77 million in total, or Kenya shillings 10 billion in the short term. This combined effort will be expected to generate an additional $330 million in apparel exports and create another 20,000 jobs by the end of next year. I know that whenever I stop at the river here, the question I'm asked is that there is no sufficient water. And the people in the river normally complain that there is water in the EPZ and there is no water in the town. So we intend to deal with that, as I made a commitment that this is going to be sorted out in the next couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 months. We will complete the Northern Collector Tunnel program that will supply water directly to this EPZ, and to the people of Athi River, I want to tell them there will be water for Athi River as well. This partnership embodies the future of Kenya, a future built on solid investment with skilled labor, efficient technology, quality manufacturing, and strong linkages with global markets. I am particularly encouraged to note that the potential of investments and partnership in this subsector is greatly increased has greatly increased formal sector employment opportunities for women and youth, with the sector poised to create up to 1 million jobs over the next decade. This inclusive impact will be transformative. The next important agenda to achieve the full potential of this subsector is to develop vertical integration from fabric to apparel through improvement along the value chain aimed at reducing production costs, enhancing quality control, and creating economies of scale. Fabric production is therefore going to be critical in giving apparels made in Kenya a competitive advantage. And I have said what we are doing to make sure that that becomes the case. This means that there is increased opportunity for the visionary investor to take advantage of this opportunity, as well as our favorable overall investment environment to construct a fabric mill in one of our counties. Such an investment would be particularly opportune, given that 40,000 farmers are already farming cotton and producing between 20,000 and 40,000 bales annually. I'm announcing an investment opportunity, so those people who have ears, they better listen. This has the potential to increase not just the number of farmers, but acreage under production to achieve at least 260,000 bales annually. And you not only have a ready market in our EPZ ecosystem, but you also have a very efficient farming community to support. Our projections for the growth of the textile and apparel sector, based on the current potential and investment growth, is that a compound annual growth of 20% is feasible, which would produce over $1 billion in exports and create 200,000 more jobs by 2027. Further increase exports to $2 billion with 650,000 jobs by 2031 and reach over $3 billion in exports and more than 850,000 jobs by 2034. I want the leaders who are here to keep track of the numbers. The numbers are very important. In other words, the conditions exist for Kenya's textile and apparel subsector to drive rapid growth in investment, manufacturing, employment, exports, and technology competitiveness. This is the context in which we appreciate the entry of Nextgen packaging EPZ into our textile and apparel subsector because of the future we think should be our target as we go into the next stage. Welcome to Kenya, a land of opportunity and nation going places. Welcome to the future, a future of transformation and inclusive growth, and I wish you all success in everything that you do. The Nextgen packaging EPZ factory in Athi River is now officially commissioned. Thank you very much. God bless you and God bless Kenya. Asante sana.